Okay, so you have a place here called Maamturks. Yeah, we are recording. So this is Maamturks, and this is comes across the Mam, and then you have Linan over here, and there's a slight change to the Maamturks challenge this year. This is Linan, the finishing point. The reason I'm making this video is because of a thing called altitude exaggeration. One of the mistakes I made before, there's two reasons I'm making this. One is altitude exaggeration, and the other is because of a route change on the Maamturks challenge this year. So this is kind of like a classic map that people have used for a long time to do the Maamturks challenge. Um, and what I'd like to do is like to modify it so that we take these points here and create a proper descent. So within the Maamturks Challenge rules this year for 2026, you will have to navigate a different way. This is farmland. So you will have to navigate this sort of line here, which brings you back to Lannan village. So that's one of the main things. The other reason I want to re-record this video is primarily because the altitude exaggeration that I did on the last one is wrong. Um, it was really wrong. Yeah. So when I first did this in July 2023, I had done a flyover of this map to show people that were coming with me what the altitude was going to be like, or what the terrain was going to be like in 3D. Now, I mistakenly set the altitude exaggeration a little bit low, and which meant it turned this into a set of rolling hills instead of what it actually is, which is a really difficult challenge. And I even think it doesn't quite show what the challenge is from this. So the red line here is our actual route this year. It's also done in waypoints, whereas the blue line is footfall and the way people have walked in the past. And you're going to see some differences as we do this. This mountain here is called Corcog, and you are starting at about 110 meters, and it is a 610 meter climb up. Be under no illusions, this mountain has the never-ending story in terms of where its, how would you call it, where its summit is. It just is constantly moving away from you the entire time. Footfall on Corcog is actually surprisingly good for Connemara. You won't see much in terms of navigation, things that help you to navigate. Literally, you look up and you go, that's where I've got to go, to the top, and by any means necessary. So I'm not sure which fence they start you at, whether it's this fence this year. I presume it's this style that you get over. It could be this style. Either way, it's the same problem all the way up. There are cairns on the way up Corcog, so you do find these stone cairns from time to time, but be under no illusion. Corcog is a mean machine. Lovely mountain here, which is lovely at the when you get past a lot of the water, but this one's very waterlogged. But the Maamturks challenge in general, I found it to be not so much of a challenge in terms of bog and water and stuff like that. We did it in July after a complete July of rain, and found everything underfoot was actually quite acceptable. So this is your starting point. You have a total of 27 kilometers of walking distance to complete. You have Corcog, Mullock, Gloss, Binvor, West Top, Binvor, Northeast Top. You have Konig. You have Bin Ider the Log. what is the next one? Knocknahillion is the next one, and then Burlugva, Letterbreckbawn. And Letterbreckbawn brings you over here. And what I'd like to show you, especially with this map, is just some of the corners that people have cut. It's very tempting to get up to the summit of these mountains, but there are ways to save yourself a bit of time. One of them being right here, which is what is this one called? I think it's Binver Northeast Top. I think. Yeah. Anyway, you need to be familiar with this mountain first. This is Corcog. Oh, wait, no, we're way back. There's Maamturk. Certainly, if you're going to try and get familiar with this walk, you should break it up into a few pieces. Possibly the most daunting part is right here, coming down into Maamturk. It looks really severe, but when you're up close and personal with it, it is navigable. I would say it's worth taking your time. An amazing view from up here looking down into Maamturk. And then you've got another climb up. This, it looks small. Mullagloss, Corcog looks small. Lacavray looks small compared to Corcog. Lacavray is 2 hours to the top. So think of that when you think of Corcog. A lot of your first energy is spent on an absolute ascent. If I was to do it again, would I zigzag it? Probably. I probably would crisscross a bit more. Yeah, I would zigzag. There are other maps. I'm going to just bring in another map. There is another map that brings you up this way. And certainly when it comes to Maamturk, the direct ascent looks... Is that Maamturk? No, here's Maamturk here. Certainly the direct ascent looks like the way, but from the chapel, I would suggest here to do not go up to the right of the chapel. A lot of people will do that. Find a way. This might be a little bit difficult to navigate here on the left-hand side of the chapel. But once you get up here, it's much easier underfoot. It's steps of stone that are much easier to find your way up. A zigzag path, I would suggest, is what you're looking at here. On the left-hand side, the chapel is here somewhere. And definitely coming up here, I would say go this side. Go this side. Much easier. Then... after you have, that's Bincoki, I think is the name of this right here, Bincoki. Another difficult one, another one to take your time on. Then when you look at some of these, this is like 20 minutes. Mullagloss, another one that just, when you're back at Mullagloss, on the top of Corcog, when you're here and you get to look like this, and you get to see this view all the way out here, and it looks very daunting. It's a psychological, that's exactly what it looks like. It's a psychological war from right here. When you look down after you've climbed up so high, and then you look down, you go, oh my God, I've got to go down. And then this is a stairs. Be under no illusion. This is a stairs right here. You've got a fence beside you, but it is exactly what it looks like there. A stairs all the way up. And a tough one at that. It is exactly that sort of profile. Difficult, but... after Corcog, after Mullaghgloss, then it pans out. You've got a flat plateau. It widens out on either side. Beautiful views down to here. And then you have this pretty much a slope coming down to Mameen, down to this lake. You know, you want to be thinking about taking a break here. I definitely think you'll go, yeah, this is your halfway point in terms of effort. If you broke it up into 8 sections, 9 sections, this is about 3.7. Yeah, right here into 9 sections. This looks easy enough. Again, as I said, take from Mameen up, go up the left hand side. You can have family members meet you here. There's a car park here. Oh, I've gone off the way. Hang on there. Let's reorientate ourselves. Let's come around. Hang on there. Let's go through this mountain. Okay. So I'm just going to come out for a second. I just want to show you the correct interpretation of this. This is your starting point on the right. Here, Corcog, Mullaghgloss, across this, gentle and across here, and then down this slope, Mameen, and then you're across from Mameen to Bin Kokig is the first one. And so just to give you some, this is a lot of work. To here, it's a lot of work. After that, maybe not so much work. The last one, the Call of Despondency, being another one where you've really got to dig deep. If you've never done it before, you're going to be relying on digging deep. Now, here's another point. One of the things I noticed on this walk is I took 3 liters of water. So one of the things I noticed straight away was there was water everywhere. Something like a filtration system, cylinder push filtration system, you could reduce the kilos over the entire length of this greatly. There's a lake here. There's water here, here, here. There's water everywhere. I was inspired after doing it the first time to invest in a grail, and I can attest to a grail after 2 years still working perfectly, no problems. I do not dunk it into dirty streams. I try and take the water, and if I need to, I put a mesh over the top of my grail as I fill it if it's really bad water. But the grail 100% is what you need on this. You don't want to be carrying 3 liters. This thing is an awesome challenge. It is seriously a massive undertaking. You've no idea. This thing, when you see the view, is what takes it out of you. So, continuing on, we have the second third of the mountain range. Again, we can see some subtle differences between the 2 maps, one being a waypoint map. You've got your descent here. The other one, the dotted one, is an actual footfall map. Okay? So it's actually the way the person walked. Okay, so once you get up onto this plateau, I'll just show you what that elevation profile looks like from this side. So once you get up from Mameen, just tilt this. Oh, I need to come back a bit and just come down. Okay, oh, nearly. Why can't my mouse be a bit more gentle? Okay, up from Mameen, another hour, possibly less if you're carrying less water than I was. a gentle profile across. Much easier. You're up. You're on high. Here's the next descent. And this is the next one. I think that's Binver West, Binver East, Binver Northeast top here, Binver here, Binver West top, and then we're down into, yeah, okay, and then we're down into this other saddle, and we have Bincoki is this one. Bincoki, beautiful views. Look at the Derry Clare Lake over here. Look at this. Let's just pan around, show you what you've got to view from here. So you have a choice. You're like, will I do this or will I have a sandwich up here? I think that would be a place where you go, do you know what? This is break number 2. I'm going to take 15 minutes minimum right here. I'm going to drink 500 milliliters of water or more. I've just found a water source here. And then when is your next water source? These mountains, this view, I mean, you can see for miles and miles from here. Beautiful. Or you can take the shortcut across. I don't think anybody's going to take the shortcut, really. Okay, now, I've zoomed way too far out. Okay, where were we? Okay, Bincoki. Bincoki is 633 meters, so 595 and 633. I think that's 633. What are we looking at there as the altitude? Elevation 578, 582. Maybe I've done something wrong here. No, I don't think so. Oh, maybe I have. Yeah, Bincoki. Sorry, I have. Anyway, look. Beanitter the log. Yeah, okay, I have. Yeah, I've done something wrong. Beanitter the log. Knocknahillion is after the lake. Knocknahillion is here. Knocknahillion is 607. I'm reading 572. More water. As we're picking up water here, I would suggest with a grail that when you pick up water, you drink, and it's the Ultra Press is the 600 or the 500 ml, good for 1 hour. 500 mils, you're good for 1 hour. I would say every time you find water, you drink 500 mils and you hold 500 mils, so you're holding half a liter. Knocknahillion letter. What is this one? What are we at here? We're at 636, which is this Knocknahillion? It is, yeah, that's Knocknahillion. Okay, now we need to go up again. Okay. No, that's Letterbrackbawn. Letterbrackbawn 667. Yeah, 640. Yeah, okay. Letterbrackbawn. The one before it is called, I don't know, Ballyurvey, Knocknahillion North top 541. Yeah, and Knocknahillion here. Letterbrackbawn turn. Okay, and then we have a downhill from there. Now, where do you get water along here? This is the next question. You're on a descent. You're on a descent stage. Maamturk Moor 4 something here. You're turning towards what's called Malkyo 578. No, that's it. Malkyo is 448. Malkyo. Now, here's the next part. So This is the what they call the call of despondency. You're creeping up against 538. You're coming up onto 546, 548, 600 meters. And this is where the modification is. So right here, this is off limits. Anything here is off limits. You're turning left. You're looking for Lannan Hill, which is 556. And again, people drop down this way. There is another map that does this way, but I don't want to confuse things. So I'm going to go with this one, which I think avoids everything. And is a waypoint map, so this must be a recognized route. This brings you kind of, I think that's Buchan. I think that's the name of that one, is Buchan. And yeah, and you're back to Lannan from there. So yeah, that is the entire route from the perspective of the Maamturks Challenge 2026. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button. It really does a lot for me. Just to see a like, it does a lot. I don't know if it does anything for anything else. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. If you enjoyed the video, leave a comment. It makes a difference.